Hello, welcome to the Falcon, a footy podcast. I'm your host, Clarky.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jess.
Another week in the books as we come into... So Doug Nichols' round is next week, so I've just noticed that all the names have switched over, guys. That's exciting. Yes, it is. Hey guys, I think our teams won this week. We finally hit the quaddie.
Did we finally hit the trifecta?
The trifecta.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep pushing that name every time you call it a quaddie.
There's 4 of us, Chris.
Yeah, but two of us go for one me.
Twice.
No. It's one
Counting
team.
the individual hosts, not the individual teams. You guys definitely had 2 games where you must have been holding your breath for great portions of those games.
Oh, yes. It's funny because my game was on Thursday night, so it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
It's funny when your team plays so early, like you can just chill out for the rest of the weekend. So I was stressed on Thursday night, but then I just got to sit back and enjoy the round.
And Chris, how did you make out from your game?
It was a weird one because I was watching it on the couch and I was just like, not super confident, but I was like, yeah, we're looking pretty good. And then for the last 5 minutes, I was like screaming at the TV. But like for the rest of the game before that, I was just like casually laying back like, oh, this is an entertaining game. And then the last 5 minutes, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, it was a mix of emotions.
I felt a bit like that watching Melbourne, to be honest.
Really
did not feel like a win.
They were not winning the whole way.
It didn't fit. It wasn't that like satisfying. I'm still
Thrashing.
waiting for that like real, that confidence that you feel when you feel a bit reassured watching them that you're like, yeah, they got this. Like, we'll let them get a couple, but like we're in control. We're all good. There were moments when they had like a run of 3 goals and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, and because it's Melbourne, I'm like, this could turn into 7 goals.
It was a
And
bit like
but, like-
that. I think it was at the start of the last quarter. I think Cooper Duff-Tytler kicked a goal and it brought the margin down to like, I think it was just below 30 points. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting.
Which objectively, if I was watching anybody else's team, I'd be like, we're so fine. Like that's fine. Everything's all good. No dramas. But watching Melbourne, I'm like, oh God, this is it. This is the beginning of the end. Terrifying. Not relaxing football on a Sunday at all.
Well, should we jump into one of the bias games of the week? Gonna pick at random. Let's go with the least entertaining one and follow on. I do feel like it was Naarm versus Walit Marawa at Marvel Stadium, one of the 2 times a year that we play there. And every time that we play there, it looks bad. I feel like it's Marvel that makes the football look bad.
Was the
'Cause it
roof
doesn't
open?
No.
I don't think so because the weather was bad.
It's at Marvel when there's not much of a crowd. There does look very bad. Whereas like
And
the
it doesn't
MCG, I
sound
feel like
good.
I feel like the MCG you can kind of get away with it. But yeah,
I've been to games at Marvel though where they don't put fans on one side of the arena. So it's like whatever side the cameras is facing is where all the fans are sitting, and then there's a whole half of the stadium empty. And so I think it was a Fremantle Bulldogs game once. They were like, general admission is sold out, and I was like, what do you mean? Like Fremantle games in Melbourne do not sell out. And then we got there and I was like, oh, that's why they said sell out, because they've only sold half the top state of the stadium. But yeah, I guess they don't do that for Melbourne versus West Coast.
Wow, what a shock. Melbourne doesn't turn up and West Coast doesn't have much of a presence out here. Gotta get to your 1 game a year, guys.
Was it Sunday?
It was
Yeah.
Sunday, Mother's Day.
Mother's
oh, that might have
1:15
impacted it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this was a weird game for the Ds. This is the start of the timer. Just watching it, it felt... Everybody was kind of playing the same as we normally do, where we have that hit and miss kind of play style, where they're kind of trying to do a bit too much and the fundamentals sometimes look a bit shaky. I was a bit disappointed with Jaff. I think his foot skills really need to improve. He's kind of doing everything he needs to, and then you see him get the ball and he just shanks it off the side of his boot, which is a bit disappointing. Jake Bowie returned, which was awesome to see. He had a really good game, I thought. And I think the one thing that I really noticed, though, was that Cozzy Pickett looked a bit flat on the weekend.
The whole time I was watching the game, this just goes to show my thought process. The whole time I was watching it, all I could think was, I can't wait for Clarky to just unleash on Cozzy on the podcast this week.
No, you know what? I'm not going to unleash because he genuinely didn't look okay. Like, you know when you see someone and you just really feel like they needed some support? It annoyed me because the commentary kept on saying like, oh, it's because of his near miss on Jake Waterman, where it looked like he hit Waterman in the head, but Waterman got up immediately because he wasn't trying to hit him. And the commentators kept on playing it off like, oh yeah, he looks really worried about that hit. He looks, he shouldn't be worried. Like, don't worry. Like, that's why he's a bit flat today. But when you kind of watch him, and don't get me wrong, it's not our business to know, but we do know that he has a bit of a difficult personal situation going on with his ex-partner and child. And, I'm wondering whether there's something going on with him, or whether maybe he's just tired because he's had a big few weeks and it's a new role for him, or maybe it was just an off day. But I really was disappointed that we've had so many talks about mental health, and then somebody kind of sees like, oh, Cozzy looks a bit flat, and then they just pawn it off onto something that's inconsequential instead of going like, yeah, cool. Like, you can see the whole team was getting around him. Like, you can literally see all the Melbourne players who were trying to support him, so they kind of knew that he wasn't feeling himself. I hope he's doing okay. Is one of my takeaways from this. Like, it was just something that I kind of noticed a lot through the whole game. Just he wasn't himself, and this is another good point to check in and just say, hey, check in on the people you care about, because you don't know who needs your support. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Cozzy, but even if someone just needs a vent for a day, you can be that person.
Good time to mention as well, just a bit of a side note here. Don't know if any of you guys saw, Cal Toomey reported that Josh Rochelle copped some abuse after Adelaide's game, copped a DM on Instagram, which he put on his story, where a fan said something along the lines of, end your life or something like that. It was not great. So Josh Rochelle called it out. Just on what Clark was just saying, don't be a dickhead. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is the point of that?
Yeah, completely agree. That's absolutely cool. It's like, grow up. Lots of other really good things for the Ds. Ed Langdon had a really big game. Tom Sparrow still looks really good. Caleb Windsor has been playing well the last couple of weeks, and Max Gawn is somehow a great forward and a great ruck.
He's unstoppable.
He's unstoppable.
He's an absolute powerhouse. I thought he would be quiet this week because he's sharing it with Heath, but no, he's still. And he was absolutely fucking robbed in the dying stages of the game, and I'm still livid about it. Unbelievable umpiring again.
Any takeaways from you for this game, Jess?
Speaking of the umpiring, wasn't it that there was a girl who debuted, a lady umpire? I saw something that this was her first game as like the second woman AFL umpire or something. So that's nice that she's out there doing that. I hope that she wasn't the person that called the non-map for Gawn, because that would make me incredibly angry. You're letting the side down on both ends.
Her name is Jordan Pearson.
Yes, that's right.
That's awesome. We need more good umpires, so all the best.
Yeah. She won like Rising Star AFL umpire or something, and has a load of other accolades, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for her. I don't really know. Like, I think I already said it. She just,
we won by 30 points.
We won by 30 watch the game, or were you having a Mother's Day lunch or something?
No, I think we missed the first quarter because we were putting Elsie to bed, and then came out, and I thought, I was nervous because I thought I might come out and we might be like 20 points down, or who knows. And we were like 30 something. It was like 8-30 for us. And I was like, oh, great. Like, we're having a great quarter. This is fab. And then it just didn't happen like that. So I think I was set up thinking that we were going to kick 30 points a quarter. And then we didn't even break our 100, which ruined our streak.
Yeah, 1 point short is disappointing.
Devastating. But, crushing. First world problems, I guess. But yeah, kind of a boring one other than that.
That's it. How do we do on the timer, guys?
Pretty good. 9 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I do want to preface this with saying that I'm not ungrateful for winning, because I know there's probably people listening that go, my God, just take the win. It was 30 points. I know it is a good win. We're glad, but also it could have been a bit more exciting. That's all.
You just want to see a 4-quarter effort.
Yes.
I just want to see people thrash the Eagles.
Everybody won in this one.
Yes. Good.
Well, you want exciting games. Which should we look at first? I'm going to go with Chris this week. Chris, the Bulldogs were in control for a lot of this game, but then it looked like they almost weren't.
More importantly, we won after 3 losses in a row.
I believe in one of the many group chats I'm in with you, your response was, we'll take it.
Better than losing.
Better than losing.
It was nice to win again. Unfortunately, Tim English got concussed again, so now we'll go back to losing next week. So that'll be fun.
Yep.
We apparently can't play without Tim English.
You couldn't have lost him the week we played you. Make it. I mean, I know we.
You beat us anyway.
It just could have been easier. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we were in control for a lot of the game. Like, it was a little bit back and forth. Like the highest margin was 20 points that we got out to. But yeah, the last 5 minutes, just Port kicked a couple in a row, and then it became very nerve-wracking. And then I thought we were probably on for a draw until Harvey Gallagher managed to kick that behind, and then Will Lewis kicked another one after the siren. Bont, he's injured, can barely walk, but still giving best on ground performances. 30 touches and a goal, 10 tackles. Like, yeah, insane. I think the really big thing for me this season, and particularly probably over the last month, has been Riley Sanders. He's really coming on.
Mm.
And he was obviously a high draft pick and copped a little bit of unwarranted flack in his first season because he was subbed at one point and they showed him on the bench and he was pretty pissed off when he was subbed, and then people saying, oh, he's going to go to Tassie. He's since re-signed, so fuck everyone who said that. But it's nice to see him really jumping up. I think that he's probably had that opportunity with Libba being out of the team, so it's giving him some proper mid-minutes and he's taking it. So yeah, that's been really encouraging to see.
Yeah, amazing. 31 disposals is great from such a young kid as well, like someone else to step up.
Yeah.
You guys really need that.
And that's kind of been the theme over the last month of, while we've had injuries, we've still got Lobb and O'Donnell out. And I think that it's created an opportunity for Michael Selwood, who he's had a couple of really good games in a row, but again on Friday night against Port, he had another good one, 10 marks, 17 disposals, playing as, he's not like a tall backman, he's kind of like a medium-sized back. So yeah, he's had some really good games over the last little bit as well. So some encouraging signs, but Tim English out next week, so we will lose.
Okay.
It's nice to hear that you're
Note.
thinking so positively.
We're playing Carlton as well, so...
Oh, come on. Do
Come
you think
on,
this
he
will
could
their
be out for a
second
better
win?
week.
I know. Why did it have to be this week? Carlton
How
on
did
Saturday
everyone-
night.
How did everyone else do
Um,
in their tipping this week? I got 9 out of 9.
Well,
Same.
hey.
Ooh,
I don't do tipping.
okay.
Oh,
Now
As
you'll
we've covered
know.
before.
Because I get...
Watch movies. Just don't watch movies, don't do tipping.
I used to do tipping. I always get like 5 rounds in and then forget.
Ah, right. You're
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Port, I think, have come a bit good. I think this is another game where they've just... I don't really know what to make of where they're at. Like, are they improving, or have they just had a lot of good games, or were they just really bad?
It was nice to see Zach Butters putting on a show for his future teammates. That was really nice. Except for when he lined up Joel Frazier and cleaned him up. But I think the big thing for Port is like, and this seems really obvious, but build the team around Georgiades. He's having a really fucking good year and he looks really good.
oh my God, he's everywhere. He
yeah.
every time I just was listening to the commentary and it was his name constantly. I was like, yeah, he's a problem.
I think that what will help him is as Jack Whitlock becomes a bit more muscly and a bit stronger, he'll provide a bit of the kind of foil up there, because at the moment Georgiades is kind of just by himself. But once they've got a secondary target up there, I think that, yeah, build the team around the two of them. You obviously got Horn Francis and Rosie as well. Like, just try to build the team around them. I think go into kind of full rebuild mode with that team and try to create a bit of a nucleus. But they just need to hang on to Georgiades. Don't let him fucking leave.
And is this the game where someone took out an umpire?
Yes. Was it Ed Richards? I think it was Ed Richards.
I guess I did read that, yes.
I didn't actually see it, but apparently the headline said the umpire was in agony.
Well, I watched the video and he was running backwards as the players running forwards always. And yeah, I think he just got hit square in the back, like in the spine, and he kind of just crumpled, but then came back out at the end. So obviously didn't die. Was just in a bit of pain. Yeah, he just went down. I'm like, ow. Maybe he was winded.
I feel like this season there's been a lot of umpire injuries. There's been a lot of that happening. There's an umpire who fell over last week and like hurt his arm, and there's a guy I think he fractured it. Yeah, I think he fractured his elbow. Miller took out that umpire earlier in the season. There's been quite a few.
Yeah, and then between that and the runners, it's not just the players who are being overwhelmed, guys. The pace of the game is getting to every single one of them. Oh, this is a good win for the Dogs. Glad to see you guys back on top. And as you said, Chris, you'll lose next week. But you know who might not lose next week, but definitely won this week? Waliala, as they played against Hawthorn over at Optus Stadium in a win that almost wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we were down most of the game. Yeah, it was a bit scary there. And then something just happened and we flicked a switch and turned it on and then we won and it was great. It's funny, these nighttime games having to yell quietly because we have a sleeping baby in the house. Just whisper yelling and high-fiving. There was one point we high-fived a goal and then we both whipped our head around, looked at the baby monitor to make sure our loud high-five hadn't woken the baby. It didn't. We weren't that loud. But yeah, it's funny having to celebrate that kind of a win quietly.
There was a point where I thought Jack Gunston was going to kick 12 goals.
Oh, fucking hell, Jack Gunston. When he kicked 2, right, he kicked the first 2 and they kept Luke Ryan on him. So I'm like, surely if someone looks hot and is kicking 2 goals, I don't know, maybe change the defender. And I think he'd kicked his 3rd before they switched to Brennan Cox. He did end up kicking 5, but Brennan Cox
kicked 6.
Oh, he's kicked 6. Okay,
yep.
Good.
2 as well.
Good. Brennan Cox did an okay job, but I just kept yelling, put Alex, well, not yelling, whisper yelling, put Alex Pierce on him. Alex Pierce on him. Like, at what point? I'm not a coach. Who am I to judge? Like, if someone's looking hot,
could be though.
Change things up.
No, you won't be a coach with that attitude.
So yeah, I think that was our 8th straight win in a row. The only game we lost was round 1 in Geelong, and that's how long this winning streak. Jess and I actually talked
about that. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You guys have been on fire, and I feel like we've spoken about it before, but the lack of talking about Fremantle, it does feel disrespectful when you actually look at the numbers.
But I'm also okay with it. Like, shh, nobody look, nobody pay attention, everybody look away.
Because the second people start looking, you'll fall over.
Yeah,
your pants will fall down.
Yeah.
Has there been an update on Alex Pierce?
I was just reading about that. So it is, he's suffered a low-grade MCL injury in his left knee.
Okay. So he's probably looking at what, 3 to 4?
Yeah. So he's definitely not going to be here to play Essendon next week.
Oh, no.
Hey, Essendon are hard, guys.
It's a crunch game.
They're a good team. Anyone could lose to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a lot.
Anyone could be absolutely, it's
steamrolled.
Yeah, picked apart by Brett Scott.
The other funny thing about this game was the moment the switch was flicked was Wharfie time. And you've asked me, what is Wharfie time?
Yeah, the only note that I have from this game, because it was, so from the Clark household perspective, we were kind of watching this game and like, it kind of just feels slow and it feels like Hawthorn have just got control. And I'm not sure that Freo are going to put it back. And Jess and I were already looking at our tipping league and going like, we're the only ones who tipped Freo. I can't believe we're going to lose a tip for this. And then something happened and you kicked the next 6 goals and we're like, oh my gosh, it's on. And
so we've said it before.
What the hell is Wharfie time?
Okay, first question. Had you heard of Wharfie time before this game?
I only heard of it after I tweeted about this game and someone went, oh yeah, it's Wharfie time, baby. And I was like, what?
Sorry.
They've been
Excuse me.
They've been doing Wharfie time for, I don't know exactly how long, but it's not just this season. It definitely started last season. So they always try and do things. I think I've told you in the past where they were like, the first goal of every quarter, we're going to play that Coldplay song. And so you all have to sing Frio. That didn't work. So then they decided, okay.
That didn't work? Wow.
At some point during the fourth quarter, I think it's actually not a set time. It's like when the team needs it, we're going to ring the bell and we're going to yell Wharfie time and you'll have to cheer and yell as loud as you possibly can to get the team going. And I guess around 9, enough people had got behind it. And I turned to my husband at the time and I was like, I think this could only work in Perth. I feel like Fremantle and WA fans, I know my friends who listen to this pod will be mad at me about saying this, but they're just nuffy enough for this to work. Get behind this. Because there's 54,000 of them, okay, maybe 47,000 Dockers fans that were there. But yeah, they just are nuffy enough to get behind it and make the noise. And I think, but now that they've done it 4 or 5 times this year in Perth, it started to build momentum. So it's actually, the term Wharfie time was Matthew Pavlich, Sydney's CEO, Matthew Pavlich, commentator, our past captain. So he coined the term.
He played football?
Yeah, he was a great player. Yeah, he was our captain for many years. He coined the term in 2009. There's footage of him. They used to use it on commercials, being like, "All right, boys, time to put on your Superman capes. It's Wharfie time."
That would not get me revved up to go play football.
Just said it to the players in a nice little huddle, I guess.
It feels a little condescending.
If my captain said that in the 3/4 time huddle, I would be laughing at him.
If it was Matthew Pavlich, though, you'd be like, "Yes, let's do it, Pav."
Fucking shut up, Pav.
Anyway, so it's been around a really long time, and then they just tried to make it a thing. And apparently, just as the AFL trademarked flag mantle, AFL is trying to trademark Wharfie time as well, so they can't make merch and things.
Yeah, okay. You know what the first thing you should do when you have a mildly successful thing that everyone's having fun with?
Trademark it so we get all the funds.
Monetize it so that nobody else can have fun with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of monetizing things, the Scott Pendlebury stuff.
Don't get me started, Chris. I literally said this to Josh earlier.
For one, I don't understand why there was such a big deal made on the weekend because he equaled it. He didn't break the record. Like, he breaks that in the next game, which
he didn't even wear his special jersey.
Well, that's happening in the next game because he breaks it in the next game. So I don't know why there was talk about, he's equaling it. Okay, good. So he's as good as Boomer Harvey. Great. He hasn't beaten him. And now they're going to rest him this week so that he then plays against, he breaks the record against West Coast at the MCG. So it's a guaranteed win. But I've seen...
they're resting him again?
Yeah, because they're playing Sydney in Sydney and they don't want him to break it in Sydney. So they're resting him again so that he'll break it against West Coast. Someone tweeted that he's basically made the entire month, because they rested him last week as well, so that it would work out. He's basically made the last month of the Collingwood fixture about him, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of guy that would have a birthday month.
Yeah, that's basically what's happening. But I've seen stuff about they're going to get him to wear it could be up to a dozen of the jumpers throughout the game so that he can then sell them after the game.
Oh, so we're not going to be able to tell that they're different jumpers, but
it's going to be, he's going to do costume changes, but it's going to be the same costume each time. But there's going to be up to a dozen jumpers that he'll wear throughout the game. Collingwood has waived, so they said usually after, I think it was Tom Morris reported before, usually after this type of situation where a player can then sell the jerseys, I think 65% usually goes to the player and then the rest goes to the club, but Collingwood's waived that, so 100% of profits are going to him. But I saw just before, I think it was Tom Morris, there's talk of beer coasters and just all this different type of merch around. It's this was a cool moment. Now it's making me hate Scott Pendlebury.
Yeah, I sent that Tom Morris article to Josh, where he did the piece to camera or whatever. And then because I interacted with that, my algorithm is now this chick loves Pendles. You know what she will love? A post from his page, spruiking his one-of-a-kind bottle of Pinot Noir that he's released called #433 or some bullshit.
Didn't he release wine a few years ago as well? I swear he did
God.
it for a different milestone. Here's the tweet from Tom Morris. So he said, limited edition watches have been discussed, plus boots, jumpers, and Pendlebury's own wine catalogue.
He is going to be so busy changing things throughout the entire show. It's funny because I made the joke.
How's he going to have time to play football?
I made the joke that he's wearing his, spangled gold jersey. I was like, he wants to be in it. He's a cabaret star. He wants to be in a chorus line, kick line. So maybe now he just wants the experience of a quick change that they get in musical theatre. Someone whips the costume off him and
It's all Velcro.
he needs to go out in a sparkly gold hat, a top hat as well.
What a great game to do it in after they've just demolished West Coast by 100 points.
This would be the only game where I wouldn't mind if West Coast won.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Hilarious.
So funny. Absolutely.
So good.
Well, we'll seamlessly transition into the other games now that we've covered our games. I think this build up to Pendle's thing, and then I was confused why he wasn't wearing the jumper, and I was like, why have we been talking about it this week when he's not even going to wear it for another 2 weeks? It was literally a month away.
Yeah.
But they had us because I was watching it and he had his training top on the whole time before the game. And I was like, oh, he's obviously got the gold 10 under there and he doesn't want to reveal it until it's go time. And then he pulled it off and it was just the standard fucking jersey. I'm like, what is happening here? Why are we making such a big deal about this?
And
then he ran out through that Pat Lipinski banner. And I was like, what? Hang on a second. I'd be fucking raging if I was Pat Lipinski. What the fuck is this?
So I didn't know what the Pat Lipinski thing was. So what happened?
So
it was his 150 games. And all anybody could talk about was fucking Pendlebury.
Oh, poor Pat.
literally, we watched it from the start to the start of the game because Jess was like, oh, we should see if they do anything special. And then the answer was no, they didn't, because nothing was really happening. And then they spent the whole time talking about Pendles and Tom Stewart's 250th. And then they all run out onto the field and the banner just says, happy 150th, Pat Lipinski. Just like, what? Absolutely
gobsmacked. I can't imagine if that was 150 games. That's a lot of my life. If I'm Pat Lipinski, that's a lot of games to play, and to be fucking put up next to. I said if that was me, I'd have been like, oh, I've actually got the flu this week, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm probably in the next 3, maybe 4, and I'm gonna come back in like maybe July. I'll make my re-entrance, and we can just have a game that's actually about me.
Each game that Pendles plays now is the highest amount of games.
We're going to do it every week.
Each week, it just keeps getting more and more.
Lipinski
retire?
missed an opportunity. He could have had his 150th against Sydney at the SCG next week because Pendles definitely won't be there.
Yeah, literally. They should have alternated.
Oh my God. It was, unbelievable scenes.
Speaking about Collingwood, they looked bad.
Yeah, they did. They
really bad.
Like really
Good
bad.
Good news for West Coast.
They looked very bad. Darcy Moore looked really bad, and then he looked even worse when he got kneed in the head and concussed. Geelong looked really good, though, which I don't like.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's really... We thought that these roles were switching, and then turns out they just had to play each other. Because Collingwood I think everybody was talking about them being a little bit shaky, and same thing with the Cats. But yeah, this was just a domination in the end. Like the last, from halftime onwards, it was just no chance for Collingwood. All right.
Nothing more to add, Your Honour.
Yeah, cool.
It's 2 terrible teams. One of them had to win.
Well, I think this is as good a time as any for us to ask the same question that we ask every week, which is, has Cass done her homework? Did Cass do her homework?
I want to do some investigative research. Oh, maybe I'll set myself a task for next week. Guys, Guys, I did some homework.
Some or all?
Hey.
Well, I started doing it and then I got bored halfway through, but I
Yeah.
definitely did some. So it's been so long since this homework was set for me. I just thought I would remind everyone what that homework was. I wanted to do some investigative journalism and see if the people whose songs were about them being good teams are actually good teams. So I've done a bit of research into some of the songs, and I actually haven't read all of the song lyrics. So I may have forgotten some, but I've done enough of them. So in recent years, I guess we would say some of the best teams, talking about grand finals and things, would be Brisbane, Geelong, Sydney, and I guess Collingwood's up there as well, and Hawthorn, right? Okay, so if we start at the top, Brisbane, they have won 5 grand finals and played another 2 that they lost. Their song is, "We are the pride of Brisbane town. We wear maroon, blue and gold. We will always fight for victory like Fitzroy Bears of old." Actually, not a lot about winning in there. They're just, basically their song is about how they joined 2 teams and they are now in Brisbane. So scratch that one off. This is investigative journalism.
Yeah.
Yep. Geelong, everybody. Geelong. They've had 4 grand final wins, but they've lost another 6. But, I mean, they've played 10 grand finals. So it's pretty fucking good. They've had 19 final series. Their performance rate has been about 60% winning. We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are
pretty
Geelong,
bold
we're always
claim.
on the ball. It's a bold claim, but I reckon I'm giving them a tick. They're telling us how good they are, and I think they're correct. Sydney, they've made 8 grand finals since I'm just doing these figures since 1990, by the way, when the AFL started. So when I'm saying how many there are, that's from 1990. So Sydney have won 6 since Sydney have played 8 since 1990 and have only won 2. And I think that's because their song doesn't say anything about them being the best. It's just talking about the colours and the banners. So they say that we're going to Swans will go in and win all over. But I don't see the wins, Swans. So I think you need to change your song because it's currently just cheer, cheer the red and the white, honour the name by day and by night, lift the noble banner high, shake the thunder from the sky. Guys, there's nothing about winning a premiership in there. So
Isn't it in the second verse?
there's no second verse. Moving on.
Okay. Yep. Sorry. Moving on.
They actually have a line that says, "What though the odds be great or small, Swans will go in and win overall." I don't know. I feel like 2 wins, 6 losses. What are those odds? I think those are small odds. So. No
Oh,
good
okay.
Sydney.
Sorry. This is also Cass's sniping. I like it.
Got it.
Collingwood. Collingwood has played 8 grand finals since 1990. They've been around a million years, but since 1990. And they've had 3 wins, 1990 to 2010 and 2023, and 5 losses. So even their song, there's one line. Okay, so there's good old Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Side by side, they stick together to uphold Magpie's name. And then they just talk about the barrackers. See, the barrackers are shouting, as all barrackers should. And then they say, "Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk." Is it, Collingwood? Is it 3 out of 8? Well, I don't know if that's a cakewalk. I think you should be trying harder. Change the
Is
song.
that the line?
Yeah.
I had no idea they said cakewalk.
I Googled,
I guess
what
I've
is
never.
officially a cakewalk?
Dictionary.com.
It comes from at a county fair or something where some people walk around with, it means it's easy, but it's like it's actually literally people walking around with a cake. Anyway, then these guys, Hawthorn. We're a happy team at Hawthorn. We're the mighty Fighting Hawks. We love our club and we play to win, riding the bumps with the green. It's just about being happy, good time guys, which is kind of what Hockball was, which is why they're doing so well. They have won 5 grand finals and played 6. I reckon that's pretty good odds. I'd be happy. I mean, I'd be happy and grinning and smiling too if that was me.
Yeah. Fair.
So yes, I think for all of them, probably Geelong has the most. How's this for investigative journalism? Geelong is the only one that tells you how really good they are, and they actually are.
Good job.
Just really quickly, our 3 teams. Melbourne has played 2 in the grand finals in the past since 1990 and won 1. there is nothing about winning football in your song. It's about a flag.
It's a grand flag, though.
Exactly, but there's nothing about
grand old
winning.
It's
flag.
old. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
old. That's right.
Not once does your song mention football or winning. So change the song, win more premierships. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, good advice. We'll raise it with Stephen.
Okay. And Bulldogs, Sons of the West, red, white and blue. Again, just about the flag. We come out snarling, Bulldogs through and through. Bulldogs bite, Bulldogs roar. We give our very best. Again, the song is more about being dogs and living in Footscray than playing football.
We've got that dog in us.
You got that dog in you. You've played in 2 grand finals and you've
bet
won
that
one. Again, maybe talk about winning in your song. I mean, my team, we cannot talk at all. We have played in 1 grand final and won 0 of them. Our song does not mention football once at all. We just talk about being on a boat, basically. We're rolling and rocking. And we're going to roll them and rock
actually,
them.
sorry, while we're talking about the rocker, there's a bagpiper with it.
I
this
thought
week.
I saw that another game. That's fun because we do like to play AC/DC. So, yeah, get him up there. I did think I saw the roof rocker at Marvel Stadium the week before, the night I lost my voice. So sorry I wasn't here last week. But it was just a guy with long hair.
Oh.
Just a guy.
I think I mentioned that though when we were watching it, and I said I can't believe they didn't fly him in to come and do it.
Also, apparently, because he knows, some of my friends know him because he's a musician in Perth. Apparently, he's deathly afraid of heights.
No, really?
What are you doing up there?
What are you doing
I
up
mean,
there?
if he's a sailor, then he's not used to being so high up, I
That's
guess.
Anyway, that's my investigative journalism. Did you want any other teams? I did West Coast, Richmond, North,
So-
Port.
Just to clarify, you didn't go to Not Quite Right.
Oh, no.
Chris asked the important question.
No, that homework is still outstanding.
Okay.
Well,
My
the
homework
answer-
is also still outstanding.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, Chris, yeah, you brought attention to yourself, and now
Can we check this one off though, so you can stop asking me?
that's it. Did Cass do her homework? Half points,
Okay.
50%.
50%.
Same as
homeworks.
Melbourne's win rate of the grand finals.
And what did I learn? Not enough of the songs talk about football or winning.
Did Cass do her homework?
I want to do some investigative research. Oh, maybe I'll set myself a task for next week.
Wasn't that fun?
Such a relief
Isn't
to
it
have
fun
that off
when
my
everybody
shoulder.
does their homeworks.
Now your mum can stop asking you why you haven't done your homework.
My mum is a teacher, so it was really letting her down that I hadn't been doing my homework. I'm 39 years
It
old.
was almost offensive. Should we talk about North and Sydney? North Melbourne gave Sydney a little bit of a scare, I feel like, in this one.
As
Chris,
a-
you had a different take.
Well, I will say, as a neutral, this game was very entertaining. It was a fun game to watch. I think the biggest margin that it got out to was like 15 points, maybe, for either team. North were definitely better in the first half, and then it just felt like Sydney were in control for most of the second half. And that was the only thing, was it kind of felt like... It didn't really feel like in the second half that North were going to win. It kind of felt like Sydney were in control. They just didn't push out to a big margin. But it was an entertaining game. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, it was a really entertaining game. I think I really wanted to root for North. Did you guys? Was it just me?
Well,
I just
really-
don't like North, so...
if North had won, Fremantle would be top of the ladder.
So you were pro North.
Yes, I was very much pro North. Yes.
Jess, where did you sit with this one?
Was this the one that you were narrating to me in the car?
Yeah.
this that game?
Yeah, we're on the way.
Um,
We're on the way to my mum's for Mother's Day. But happy Mother's Day to Cass and Jess. We didn't say it at the top of the show, but we should.
and
have
Chris,
mentioned it.
he's a
And
mother
Chris
to
is-
all of us.
Yeah, he's a mother hen.
That was my first Mother's Day. Yes.
Yeah, congratulations. How was it?
What?
Last time I was 2 weeks off having a baby.
Ah,
Ooh.
so close. How was it? Dude, not to sidetrack, but did you do anything special?
I went to lunch with my girlfriends and we went to see Devil Wears Prada. So the dads all organised for us to have the afternoon away from our children.
Nice.
But I did have a
Happy
lovely
Mother's Day.
morning with my child and then went off to lunch with the gals.
Very good. Jess, what about you?
What did we do? We went shopping. I spent the morning with my girl. Then we went shopping, and then the trouble is I just forget that it's Mother's Day for me, and it ends up being about coordinating for everybody else's, like my mom, Josh's mom, like making sure that we see the family, because I'm so used to that being like the role that we just have to kind of go everywhere. And then I think it was Friday or Saturday that I was like, oh, what am I doing for Mother's Day? Like, should we be doing, I feel like we should be doing something. But we just had, I had a nice cup of tea in bed and presents with my little baby. And she ripped open all of the things and held them up to me and went, ooh. Like she had no idea that they were what they were. She definitely didn't write the card or anything.
She did. She wrote the card. I was there. She has some fine handwriting, in my opinion.
I also got my first craft from daycare, which was some footprints on a card, so that was very cute.
Oh,
I was sitting in bed and I yelled out, "Am I waiting for breakfast in bed or am I getting up?"
Do you guys need me to come and do it? Or
Pete was like,
"What's happening
You
here?"
hate breakfast in bed. I was like, no, logistically, what a nightmare. And the crumbs and that. No, I would never want breakfast in bed. You're right.
Chris, what did you do? Do anything special in your life?
We always do the same thing. So I made breakfast with the boys, pancakes and bacon as was requested. And then we spend the morning together, and then Jade spends the day with her mum while I take the boys to my mum's. So
that's nice.
We always do the same thing every year.
That's cute.
nice. We love a tradition.
That's it. And yeah, so we were on the way to my mum's on this Saturday to do our things, and Jessa was like, "You're going to have to tell me what's happening because I can't watch it." And so I just started narrating the game.
I actually can't remember a lot of what you said, though, because I was so focused on trying to figure out if you had an earphone in and you were parroting back what was being said to you on the radio broadcast, or if you were actually doing it yourself.
Well, the beauty is that I could have said anything, really, and you wouldn't have been able to fact check me. Harry Sheasel kicks it to Harry Sheasel.
You could have just put the radio on, yeah?
We were listening to toddler music.
Yeah.
We did debate that. I said, do you want to put the football on or shall we listen to music? And the call was made that we needed to have nursery rhymes on the big radio, and then I would be fed the key moments of the game verbally for the passenger sheet. But I actually can't remember anything that was said because I was just baffled by what was coming out of his
Keep
mouth.
on saying
the whole
baffled.
time.
I can't tell if you thought it was good or bad.
But there was moments where you actually sounded like you were calling for the radio, and then you'd say some really fucked stuff, and I was like, somebody say
sorry, I started channeling my inner sponsored content. So
Not sponsored content.
Yeah, we had the Aldi Good Different scoreboard.
I learnt an interesting fact just before when I was reading the match report. Nick Blakey could have joined North. He could have played for North Melbourne with the father-son. So he had the choice.
His dad played for him.
And Brisbane as well. His dad played for Brisbane. But he ended up picking Sydney because he'd come up through the academy and chose to go
What
there.
a different timeline, because then he probably, would he have still been the lizard?
I mean, he still looks like a lizard no matter where he is.
Is it just because of how he runs? Is that why he's called the lizard?
I assumed so. Is there another reason?
I don't know.
Excessively long tongue and loves flies.
Is that like
maybe
laying in the sun?
Yeah, he's cold-blooded.
Can grow his tail back if it comes off. I don't.
He once lost a limb and it just grew back.
Yeah. Anyway, football. Yeah, North were in this until kind of they weren't. Like Sydney from probably the mid third quarter onwards were just, completely dominant. It's kind of scary that they can just switch it on like that, because I was kind of hoping that maybe they'd fall away a little bit, but no, they're just that good. But it does make me feel better about Melbourne's loss to them.
Well, yeah, you guys pushed them, so yeah.
I think North had a smaller margin though, so it doesn't make me feel that much better that North are able to do better than we are.
Did you play them down here or in Sydney?
We played them there.
Ah, see, you played them on the home turf. North played them at Marble.
Yeah, that's fair.
We don't play them till round 18.
Ah.
Ooh, really?
Also, I've just Googled why is Nick Blakey called the lizard. is because of his unique, slender running style and physical appearance. Teammates coined the term because he appears to slither across the ground and has a long-necked, thin frame with small shoulders resembling a lizard.
Because he looks like a lizard. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah.
So we were right all along. Yeah. What do we make of? Do we think North needing to win, like to get a lot closer in these games, do we think that they are ready to take that next step up, or are we still in the phase of they're just threatening?
I would just like to point out
Go on.
Yes, you're welcome to. Sorry, Chris, you have the floor.
That Nick, like, he's long and slender.
Also, really long tail.
that it was after round 4, so after North beat Carlton, I said on this very podcast, I said I don't understand the hype around North.
Mm-hmm.
They've had an incredibly easy fixture to start the season, and then I said then out of their next, I can't remember how many games I said, but it was like 6 or 7, they would only win one game, which was against Richmond. So far since then, they've played 5 games and won 1, which was against Richmond.
Okay, Oracle.
Okay,
Alright.
I'm Chris. I know everything, but I
So-
don't tip.
I guess you could say that I'm not high on North still.
Okay.
Do you think that they're performing better?
Oh, they're definitely performing better.
You just don't think that they're
My
top 4. They're
My-
not bottom 4, sorry.
They're not, yeah. My big thing with North is, are they performing better? Yes. However, Clarko's been at the club. This is his 4th season. Like, it's not like he's had an immediate... It just feels like their progress is still way too slow. And they're
Yeah.
taking too long to show that progress. They should have been showing it a lot longer than now. And yet, we as an AFL community, they start to show progress, and we're like, oh, good on them. Like, they're finally showing progress. It's like, yeah, but they probably should have done it 3 years ago. Like, I don't know. I just don't think... I think that they're moving too slow to then capitalise on the list that they will have, because Nick Larkey's not exactly the youngest key forward around. By the time they start to reach the potential, some of the players who, like, are currently kind of almost in their prime won't be in their prime anymore. I feel like they're just wasting it a little bit.
Yeah. So by the time they get to anywhere good, you think that they're going to just need to rebuild again.
Yeah,
Is
well,
what I'm
they're just not going to, yeah, I feel like the timing's not going to, because they're taking so long, the timing's not going to match up, and they're just going to end up going through a cycle of they'll make the finals, they might win a final, or they'll end up like an Essendon perennial, just not
Losers.
progressing. Yeah, just losers.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, speaking of the perennial losers.
Just one last thing. I just wanted to point out that North, for round 14, 15 and 16, they will play West Coast, then Richmond, then Essendon, which that seems fun and fair.
And they won't win a game between now and then after round 16, everyone will go, North are doing so well. Look at the progress they've made. It'll happen again.
You heard it here. Oracle, take note of the episode.
And anyone that tips, feel free to hit Chris up for some advice. He knows everything.
Should we talk about the Giants and Essendon game? Well, this felt like an almost game for Essendon.
Yeah, I think probably halfway through the third quarter, I thought, oh, they might pinch this.
There was a point through the third quarter where Jesse Munro, previous host of this show, reached out to me and said, if, capital letters in quotation marks, if we win and you guys happen to have a spare spot on the podcast this week, ... So there was a chance Jesse was ready to come on the pod, and Chris was very ready to give up his seat if that was to happen. Just do not want to be there for Jesse to talk about his team positively.
Well, so we had the benefit of watching this game alongside an Essendon supporter because we were at my mum's and my brother is an Essendon supporter. And by God, he's got some rage in him. He was a sailor. Like, we had his son, who is about the same age as our daughter, was also there. He's a little bit older, and it was like there was a lot of swearing, in an age where our little girl, she's parroting quite a lot of what we say. So Jess and I have had to tone it back just a little bit, well, a lot of it. But he was mad, and he hates Jake Stringer.
Oh, he really hates Jake Stringer.
Don't we all?
I actually felt really comforted being in the presence of somebody who has just as much rage as me when it comes to football.
It's true.
It felt like a home from home, and it was nice. Like he was just so passionate about it, even though surely you would be completely immune to the loss by this point in the season. But no, I think the tiny droplet of hope that still existed was set on fire the game until probably halfway through the fourth quarter, and then it was just pure sadness and anger
They say
and
Ted
disappointment.
Lasso, it's the hope that kills you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the hope that kills you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
You'd almost prefer to just like I don't know what you'd prefer. Would you prefer to be like a West Coast over the last few years where they're just getting pummeled every game and you know what the result's going to be, or would you want them to have these games where they show a little bit of hope but then ultimately still just lose anyway?
I feel like the Essendon situation is worse because at least West Coast have had somewhat recent success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they fell right off the other side of the mountain, but at least they got to the top.
And
right?
they will often remind you about those wins.
Yes.
And Cass is not bitter about that at all.
Spit.
Well, I was with some, because I wasn't on the episode last week, I wasn't able to tell this story, but I was with some West Coast supporters before the West Coast Richmond game, and I had tipped Richmond, and these two guys were like, "Oh no, we are not going to lose to Richmond. Change your tip." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And they're like, "Oh, we will not lose to Richmond." And I was like, "Okay." So I changed my tip, and that is the only one I got wrong that week. I got 8 out of 9 because of them.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people were sort of thinking that as well with the there's a tipping gauntlet going on. I don't know if you guys are still in it or not, but I suggested to a lot of people thinking I had done the same to tip West Coast to beat Richmond because I was like, look, they're 17th and 18th. West Coast should win at home and Richmond will then beat them later in the year at home. And those are the only two times you can probably hope that they'll win. And I seem to have done a good old-fashioned Curshausen on it and just absolutely cooked it. And then it turns out I picked Richmond.
Oh, that's lucky.
Which means I must have had it backwards in my head
Oh well.
about which is which. But yeah, I think it's interesting with the Bombers, isn't it? Because they made so many changes this week. Like the Ben Mackay dropping to the VFL, probably, I assume because of the low confidence issues that we've heard so much about.
He also just had a really poor game last week. He was very bad.
Yeah, so like in the ins that I had Ben Mackay out, Caldwell out, Sada Hawley out, Gresham out, and then a couple of rookies out, and then they brought in Parrish, Redmond, Archer May, Perkins, and Nick Bryan. So a little bit more experienced list for them, but just wasn't enough. I think the Giants are just too polished, even missing Hogan and Legalia and those kinds of people. It was just inevitable for me.
There was, and I'm going to bring this up even though I can't remember the number, so I'm going to get this wrong, but I'll bring it up anyway. There was something mentioned in the broadcast by one of the commentators during this game that, so Essendon drafted Archie Perkins, Nick Cox, and Harry Jones in 2020. They were 3 top 10 picks. It was when Essendon had the 3 top 10s. They said during the broadcast that this game was it's only like those 3 players have only played like 4 or 5 games together since they were drafted because of just injuries and poor form and stuff. It's nuts.
Really?
Yeah, they were kind of trying to make a bit of an excuse out of it. They were like, oh, it's so hard for players who are in like their 4th, 5th, 6th years who've played such little football together to actually gel and create a chemistry with each other, which, I mean, it's a fair point, but also I think it was just poor drafting.
I feel like Archie Perkins gets a really rough rap sometimes because I do think that Essendon ruined him. Like specifically Archie Perkins, I think of. He was played out of position for so long that it feels like he barely knows how to play football anymore.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like that. Well, he was just stuck on the half forward flank for ages.
Yeah, and I remember like the hype of him coming in and then just being like, he can be anything. No, he was always a midfielder or a winger, and then you played him out of position, and now he's nothing. GWS back on track after this one? This is a confidence-boosting game for them?
I mean,
I don't know.
I'd actually say it was the opposite because, they they kind of got away with one in the last quarter.
Yeah, they definitely stumbled. So
They need a ruckman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kieran Briggs has just fallen off a cliff.
Well, the new rules don't suit him at all because he is not agile. He's like that old school big fella, no turning, like a Sean Darcy type. That Sean Darcy, like who else? Lloyd Meek, I think, is in the same boat as well. And those guys are just really struggling across the board this year. I can't think of any of those big-bodied ruckmen who have been able to adapt really well to these the new rules. So I feel like GWS missing, is it Nick Madden? Is their other ruckman?
Mm.
Has
Yeah, he
really
hurt his
affected
knee.
their ability to win ball.
They're also
I'll tell
saying
you
that
what will be a confidence booster for them this week, playing the Eagles.
Theoretically.
It has to be. It has to be. You can't nearly lose to Essendon and then lose to the Eagles the week after. That would be devastating. Imagine the banners.
Yeah. It's, speaking of the banner, GWS coming out with an absolute banger of a banner mocking Essendon's strengths and weaknesses board. So jumping on the back of Brisbane and really just laying in. Does anyone have it up so they can get it right of what it actually said?
Yeah, it's got Essendon at the top, and then it's got two columns. One is strengths, which has nothing written under it, and then the other one is weaknesses, and it has 7,916 days written.
Oh.
I thought it was very funny. It's also made
No.
Essendon fans very mad, which just makes it even better.
Yeah.
I wish we'd asked Gabe. I wish I could have brought this up. This would have made him explode with rage. I didn't see it in the actual game. I only saw it after the fact. Love you, Gabe. Sorry.
Shout out to Gabe. He says that he listens to the Falcon, and we've just spent a bit of time laying into his team. I think there's probably only one game that we really need to talk about a little bit. Brisbane beat Carlton by 11 points. Carlton did an Uno reverse.
They
And
did.
decided in the second half of the game to be good and in the first half of the game to be bad, and they're claiming this as a win. Everyone's real pumped for it, and I don't know why, because it's absolutely not.
This is one of those games where, yeah, like, Brisbane got out to a 50-point lead. Like, regardless of that you only lost by 11, that's still not a win. You got out to a 50-point deficit and then still lost. Like, you still played like shit. You just had one good quarter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this is more concerning for Brisbane in the grand scheme of things, but also it's not a win for Carlton.
They were goalless in the second. That's not great. Did you see the interview with Lachie Neale after the game? So
No.
I saw the clickbait headline which said we were doing a Carlton, and all the replies are like, fuck you, I'd rather do a Carlton than be a Lachie Neale and blah, 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 blah. How dare you say that? But actually, when you listen to it, he said some of the Carlton players came up to them and said, you guys are doing a Carlton, to try and get into their head. So actually, he wasn't saying it. They were using it to try and get in their head. But just all the clickbait headline and all the comments on Twitter were having a real go at Lachie Neale about that. No, don't say poor Lachie Neale. He's fine.
No, fuck it.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Where do we feel like Carlton are after this one? Vossi slightly safer or still the same kind of danger?
I keep saying that it just makes me laugh that as a football community we've just accepted that Michael Voss is getting fired. We just don't know when.
Hi there, sweet listeners. Clarky here. Just a note, Michael Voss resigned the morning after we recorded this, so we don't talk about that in this episode, which is very funny for us to have this discussion, but rest assured we'll talk about it next week. Anyway, enjoy our pre-resigning takes.
Now the media's just stopped talking about it. They're just like, oh, like it's gonna happen. Who gives a shit?
Apparently-
Like, it's like no one cares.
Apparently he spent some of this game coaching from the coach's box as opposed to down on the sidelines like he always does. Let's see if this change of scenery makes a difference. It did not.
This box is
that's
called
what it
a
was.
coach's box.
He flipped it.
Maybe
That's the topsy-turvy. He went up.
There you go. Yeah. It's just, it makes me laugh that even the media has just let go. They've stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh well, whatever.
Yeah, maybe if we just stop mentioning it, at some point it'll happen.
I feel bad for him. Like, I don't want him to get fired. I think he's doing a terrible job of coaching, but I just feel like it's going to be really sad when it finally happens. Like, we've all been talking about it for so long, it almost feels like it's not going to happen because how many more could they possibly lose without doing anything? But I feel like they're going to do it at a really stupid time. Like, they'll win another one or something and then they'll sack him. And we'll all be like, what happened? They might have turned it around and he's gone.
So
I don't know.
they'll sack him after they beat us this weekend because we don't have Tim English.
Yeah, that could happen. And then I think we'll all feel a little bit sad.
He's just like, he's full blown dad, isn't he? He's like he's a football dad. And it's like shooting a puppy. A
Yeah.
puppy that stops crime.
Oh, yes, he did stop crime that time. He stopped
Yeah.
crime, yes.
All right, and I think that we should stop the crime that is this podcast, I guess. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you so
Good
much for joining
segue.
us, listeners. You can follow us at Falcon Footy Pod on Instagram and X if you want to see the latest things that we're up to. But the best thing you can do is jump onto your podcast platform of choice and give us a rating and review. Make sure you give us 5 stars because it's the best. And if you want on Spotify, is it, Cass? You
Yeah.
can jump in the comments with our favorite listener, Grace, Cass's mum. Number 1 listener. If she stops listening, the show stops. I think that's the rule. A lot of weight to put on one person, but seems fair to me. You can also follow us individually. Cass, where can people find
You
you?
can follow me at Cass Badge.
Chris?
At Leori_16.
Jess?
At Swanky Jess, 2 Ys.
You can follow me at Quantum JC, or more likely over at the Footy Mailbag, which is the Supercoach podcast that I do. Until next week, listeners, we'll see you in Sir Doug Nichols' round. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
The entire team at the Falcon Footy Pod would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians and cultures of the lands and seas on which we live and record this podcast. We pay our respects to all First Nations peoples, elders and ancestors and thank them for their continued connection and contribution to this country's national game.